Hi, everybody. My name is Philip Dodd, and I'm the Associate Director of the TCU Leadership Center. And we're really excited to spend a few minutes with you creating a foundation on Clifton strengths, or providing a quick refresher if you've already had this before. My top strengths are relator, positivity, developer, empathy, and arranger.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dee Dee Williams-Van, the Director of TCU Student Organizations Learning and Development. My strengths are focus, analytical, harmony, achiever, and learner. As you can see from both Philip's strengths and my strengths, between the two of us, we have 10 strengths represented, and we hope that by the end of this presentation, you'll start to value how other strengths are different than yours, but equally important. Today, we're going to delve into your own strengths, and you will also learn about what the Clifton Strengths Assessment is and how the assessment can help you. This will be a great refresher from you if you already know about it, but also a summary if you don't already know about it. We'll dive more into this information in the follow-up in-person strengths session that we have.
So after completing this video, we'll hope you'll have a better understanding not only of just the strengths philosophy itself, but also be able to link this to your personal strengths and see how those strengths lead to successful behaviors and achievements in your life. And lastly, just be able to define what those top 5 individual strengths are for you. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the strengths philosophy. Remember back to when you were growing up and you brought home a report card. Now, say your report card had a couple A's, a B, and an F. What do you think you and your family would focus on? When we do this with other students, most people say it's the F, right? Probably the lower grades. So why don't we focus on those Fs instead of the As? We're programmed at a fairly early age, at least in our culture, to spend a little more time improving on our weaknesses and looking at what's not up to par in that sense. Now, with the strengths philosophy, we recommend spending just as much time focusing on those good grades. So not ignoring the Fs per se, but looking at why we got the As and how we got the As, because there's something there. Now, Don Clifton, the founder of Clifton Strengths and this assessment, suggests that if we start focusing on what's unique and positive about people, instead of what they just need to improve, it'll be a benefit to us all.
Clifton Strengths is based on over 40 years of research looking at people's talents and strengths. Don Clifton came up with 34 strengths or themes to create a common language. This assessment truly shows the unique ways that people are different and strong in different areas, and that there's over 250,000 combinations of the top 5. So jokingly, we usually say if there's 2 of you in the same room that have the exact same strengths, it's time to leave and go buy a lottery ticket, because that doesn't generally seem to happen, again, because each one of us are so unique and different. By taking this assessment, you've joined the over 26 million other people worldwide who have taken Clifton Strengths, and they've also decided to focus on and live within their strengths. Oftentimes, students will ask us if they can retake their assessment as they've changed so much in their time at TCU. And while this is true that you will change, the assessment has a really high test-retest reliability. And what that means is that if you retake it, chances are your strengths are going to stay very similar. So for that reason, while you're at TCU, you'll each get 1 free strengths code to take.
At this point, we hope you've already taken the top 5 or the strengths assessment and have your top 5. So we wanted you to take a minute to really think about how you see these strengths play out in your life in various roles. Think about your life as a student, roommate, family member, or even specifically within your role as a leader of a student organization. Hone in on that top strength. How have you seen yourself utilize that specific strength, say in the last week? Are you aware of when you're using it and how it can positively impact whatever situation you're in? And how does that strength influence your organization? You can think about these things with all your strengths, all 5 of them, and really do some reflection on how they impact you, and specifically the interaction you have with other people. Group projects, interacting with friends and family, you see that all day, every day as we're interacting with others. At TCU, we really encourage students to want to understand, articulate, and live in their strengths. So Clifton Strengths draws from research in positive psychology. This is a scientific study of the strengths that enable individuals and communities to thrive. So within this strengths philosophy, it's a focus on strengths building. Now, when you focus only on fixing weaknesses, that's about preventing failure. And that allows you to potentially go from something where you're poor or maybe okay to being good at something at best. But we're talking about focusing on strengths building and how that leads to success. So think about taking something you're already good at and going to great. If you're only focusing on areas of weakness, you just fix what's not working. But if you focus on building strengths, you can go from good to great in less time, with less effort, since it's already an area where you have talent. Now, we've seen time and time again, if you focus on your strengths, you can understand to look at a full team's potential, understand how best to distribute tasks and workload for success.
Also, we found, and research shows that when you focus on your strengths, it will allow you to do so many things. It will allow you to discover what you naturally do best. It will improve your self-awareness and why you are unique, providing you with additional confidence. It will provide you the opportunity to articulate who you are and how you work with others, and to understand how others approach situations based on their own strengths, which would be really great to understand within your student organizations and your leadership boards. And it also allows for less comparison to others, because when we really understand, what we're a rock star in and what we're really great at, we won't necessarily compare ourselves to other people as much. Also, it creates a common language. At TCU, that's why we do provide strengths codes to all of our students. We want you to be able to know and use your strengths. Also, during the job search, if you know your strengths, you're able to be able to articulate your innate abilities and provide examples. Research also shows that if you focus more on your strengths in a role, you'll have better satisfaction.
When you join us for the in-person session coming up, we're going to get to do a lot and kind of dive into more activities and thoughtful pieces. And Dee Dee's going to tell you about that in a minute. But before that, we really want you to take some time and reflect a little bit. Think through a couple of these questions about your strengths so that when you join us, you'll have a little bit better understanding of these and how you use these strengths. So first off, what was your initial reaction when you got your top 5? What'd you think? Do other people in your life see these as your strengths? So think about your family members, professors, classmates, roommates, those people who see you all the time. Do you think they would see you enacting these strengths in your life? And if so, how? And how have you seen these in your daily life? When we say daily life, that's a lot of aspects of how we live, right? So career path and interest, academics, social. There's a lot here that encompasses daily life, right? So think about how these strengths play out in those different areas for you. Also, which strengths do you use most when working with others? Which strengths connect easiest to different roles you have in life, whether that's a student, a leader in your organization, a friend, family member, roommate, team member. We'll have a lot of roles we play. And last but not least, how have you seen these strengths help you navigate the pandemic, which we've been living in for a couple of years now?
So we're coming up to the wrapping up stage. So we just want to thank you all for watching this video. We hope that you learned more about the Clifton Strengths Assessment and your top 5 strengths from this. Again, this is just kind of a quick little teaser for the in-person session. So what we encourage you to think about is this. If we stop trying to be more of who we're not and start focusing on what we naturally do best, what makes us powerful and unique, we can be even more successful in our daily lives. And that's what we want for you all, just as a full person, but specifically when it comes to your student organizations and the great organizations that you're leading. And we know that's important to you as well. So we look forward to seeing you all at the in-person strengths session soon. And if you have any questions about your strengths or what you've heard so far, feel free to type those in the notes section of the post test after watching this video, or you can just bring those questions with you to the session. And like Philip mentioned earlier, during our in-person session, we'll really take a deeper dive into strengths and how you can apply those in a whole bunch of different elements within your student organizations. Because by focusing on strengths and relationships, you can lead to successful results in your operations, in your connections, in marketing, in building your organizations, and the sustainability of it. So thank you all, and we look forward to seeing you all soon.